What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Big Crypto here. Luna Classic time. Now, everyone was saying that we were going down, but it looks like that's not the case. And actually, we get some further bullish news for Luna Classic. What am I talking about? Well, make sure you stick around and watch this video to the end because you will know exactly what is going on with Luna Classic. But before that, if you are interested in cryptocurrency, Terra, Luna Classic, and everything else, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more content like this, smash that like button. And with that being said, let's take a quick look at the global cryptocurrency market. 1.64 trillion, 2.31% up now. Interestingly, we are just a little bit down on BTC, about 1.8%, Ethereum about 2,361, but some other coins having a good time. Solana, XRP, Cardano having a fantastic run right now. But if we head on down into the kind of top 50 and just outside it, what do we find? We find the 55th highest ranked cryptocurrency is Terra Luna Classic. Now, we dropped into the 19s yesterday and are back up into the 20s, up about 1.4%. What is good to see, though, is that volume still around $260 million, albeit is cooling. $1.18 billion is the market cap. Why is the volume important? Well, ultimately, as we see further pairings start to come on board, you can see there the new pairing of Lunk TRY doing about 13.7 million. Now, it's the debate here. Are Binance going to continue the burn support from this new pairing? And actually, we are seeing further developments, whether that be USTC or Luna Classic, and equally more exchanges getting involved in perpetual futures and spot pairings that ultimately can support a narrative around deflationary supply, which I think is good news. However, we do have an update from the development team as they announce a Classic Coalition. So what is this talking about? Well, this is the Terra Classic Coalition, a group to contribute to the Terra Classic chain developments. The team will contribute their expertise and insight for most work on Terra Classic chain without any funds. However, some tasks such as SDK upgrades will require funding from the community through governance. And what this is ultimately in a response to the new proposal that passed, and I talked about this in my previous video, which I think is a very good proposal, this pay by the job mechanism. A lot of us talked about this when initially all these kind of development teams came out and we're going to support this, and we now have that. We can hold them to account to a specific task, and what we're not doing therefore is outlaying a substantial amount of Terra Luna Classic or USTC before they have completed the work. Who is it? It's part of that L1 team. So Vin, a developer on the L1 team, shared a post on X revealing the Terra Classic Coalition. For me, what's important though is we get Happy Catty Crypto in there, as well as a couple of others that are good people to have. They've been here from the beginning. They call out things that aren't right and ultimately do have the best interests, albeit may not align to a lot of people's views, but do have the best interests of this chain. The Terra Classic Coalition aims to work without restrictions of daily meetings or a fixed roadmap, committing fully to advancing the chain. The team will develop proposals for the chain's development to ensure the strategic approach for it. The TCC is to support the pay-per-job payment model recently approved by the Terra Luna Classic community. And that's exactly the point here, that they are on a pay-per-job mechanism. It allows us to either spend or not through governance proposals. Now, the debate will always be that some of these individuals do have validators that can sway a vote, and that is probably something we need to be aware of. However, at the same time, it is good news if you ask me, and I think it definitely puts us in good stead for what's coming up in the future and allows us to develop as part and alongside TFL, the Cosmos ecosystem, and everything else. I talked about this in a previous video as well, that Luna right now has a lot of builds going on, a lot of dApps, DAOs, everything else. And obviously there is the debate about what's going to happen with Do Kwon. Is Do Kwon going to be, sent to prison? Obviously he's going to be extradited to the US. What does that look like as we kind of work through it? And ultimately, what does that look like on the back end of it? And I think that's kind of where it becomes very, very important indeed. Now, the good news for Terra Luna Classic is it doesn't stop there, as we have just upgraded to V2.3.2. Will this drive a price rally? Well, like I says, Terra Luna Classic core developers, the L1 Task Force team, have successfully completed the V2.3.2 upgrade to resolve the sequence mismatch issue affecting some validators after introducing Diacon module validators to slowly come online and continue interact with the Terra Classic chain. And ultimately, this was about building out, getting ready for future proposals, and again, just keeping us in line. Remember, we did fall quite a significant way behind in terms of getting these upgrades out, and among the 66 validators who participated, a lot of them were keen to do it. And again, that's why we've seen this upgrade go ahead. So again, just making sure that we're ready for the future, making sure we're ready for this build out that's coming. And I think, and it is only my opinion, we are going to see a substantial amount of dApps and DAOs come over to Luna Classic as part of the IBC through Cosmos in the future. And I think a lot of people will realize from this last move for Lunk, there is a lot of money waiting. There is a lot of people that anticipate this to be a very good chain. And once again, can restore the faith. Now, a lot of people would like to see Do Kwon put behind bars and then ultimately move on with TFL. There's a lot of debate whether CZ Binance could even come across and do something. All very, very speculative at this moment. But what's going on with the price of Lung? Now, I talked about this yesterday. This continuation to the sideways move, again, consolidating this high road. We want to keep hold of the twos. That, for me, is really, really important as we build out this price action for Luna Classic. And I talked about potentially coming through the weekend and what does that look like. If the market rallies, we might do the same. It's always quieter on a Saturday than it is on a Sunday. We are just seeing some leveling out, though, on the slightly higher time frames, both the 100, 200, and the 50. So we'll keep an eye on that. But ultimately, the sentiment's still very much in a bullish upward movement. Again, this is going to be the key part where we cross this long-term downward trend to see what happens with Luna Classic. If this takes a big hit, and I thought we might come and retest the 50, but we haven't, we may just see some people sell. We may see a little bit of aggressive price action, but I still think long-term, we are in a good place right now. It's good to see this big move, and I think for me, there's definitely some more upside to come. But let me know, as always, in the comments down below, what do you think of this move? And equally, what do you think of the pay-per-job team that has just been formed? I'm very interested to know your thoughts. And as ever, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, smash a like if you want to see some more Luna Classic content, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.